Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
We're fresh from the glory of the cup, the magic of the cup.
The magic of the cup, exactly.
Absolute dregs of the cup, more like.
Yeah, somewhere in between. I mean, I would be saying dregs, but we won.
I'm saying tea leaves and a bit of chewing gum someone's put in.
Yeah, an Exeter City cup of tea that your mate got for you, but you were late, so it's gone cold.
It's gone cold.
Stewed.
Your lid won't stay on. You spilt it down your front.
Well, that literally did actually happen to me a minute ago.
Are we talking about the metaphor anymore? Who knows?
No, don't know.
City are through to the second round of the FA Cup after a barnstorming.
No.
They're through like a wet fart.
Yeah.
Into the second round.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like trying to do a glorious Klinsmann dive into the corner of the goalmouth, into the corner of the pitch, and actually just get stuck in a boggy marsh halfway across.
Yeah.
You have scored, you have won the game, but you're covered in a lot of mud.
That wasn't fun for anybody.
Really wasn't. And the dread amongst the supporters of realising if they equalised there was going to be another half an hour of extra time.
Yeah.
No one wanted that. I think Cambridge gave up when they realised.
Yeah, I think they were happy to lose.
I think they were. And I was happy to see the end of it. But nevertheless, through to the second round.
And let's not be too negative, because that's, like you said.
We've started too negative, you're right.
We're through to the second round of the FA Cup, and we had a good night under the lights, as they say.
Yeah, true.
At SJP.
Although I wish I'd just left my bedroom lamp on and gone to bed, to be honest. But there we are. No, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was, but it wasn't in the end, because I think we can take away some good things from this.
Okay.
For a start, a good cup run.
Well, as in we've won the first game.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, a good cup run would be a good thing.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
For everything, for the morale of the team and of the fans, and also for the old
Cha-ching.
The cha-ching. Cha-ching.
Bunts.
Yeah. So, on to the next.
Yeah, so we've got
everybody in all areas of football now says.
They do say that.
Yeah, on to the next.
So we are on to the next, which will be Hartlepool, recently renamed, formerly Hartlepools. Second round, end of November.
Get the full name, actually. Jeff Stelling's Hartlepool United.
Oh, yeah, forget about him. I always think of them as Brian Clough's Hartlepools, but there we are. So that's that. We got them in the second round, which should mean, we all know City love a cup blunder, but it should mean we could have a good chance of getting into the third round pot.
Yeah, well, we should do, shouldn't we? You never know. That's going to be a Sunday lunchtime game, which is
Is that right?
Yeah.
Sunday lunchtime?
Yeah. Does
that mean it's on the telly?
A rare treat. I mean, I don't know. I don't care.
They do that weird thing, don't they, with the FA Cup? The BBC do a weird thing with the FA Cup where they kind of show goals as they're happening.
Oh, do they?
So it's kind of like final score, whatever that, when they're all sat around desks.
Okay.
Talking about games.
Yeah.
But
Saturday.
Yeah, and whatever, the Vidi printer one, the BBC version with Jason Mohammed, they have that, but they can also show the goals.
Right.
I guess they can show anything they want, but they go for the old, here we go over to St James Park where Alex Fisher's just scored an absolute screamer.
Yep. Bound to happen.
So I suppose that's what happens. I have a vague recollection of watching that before.
Yep.
So
the game.
Yeah, another game and Sunday lunchtime.
Yeah.
Lovely job.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Let's talk about that match.
So tonight's game, yeah. Feed the fish and he will score. That's what those Yeovil fans told us.
Wow.
And
racist swines.
So it has come to pass.
I realise not all Yeovil fans are racist. Yeah.
Not just once, but twice, because he scored the other day as well, didn't he?
Fisher?
Yeah, did he not? In the leasing.com.
Oh, he did. You're right. Yeah, he did. I forgot about that. So, yeah, well, it was nice. It was a rare moment of quality. So if you weren't there...
For the team, you mean, not for Alex Fisher?
No, for the team, it was a rare moment of quality.
Yes.
So 2,500 people saw, for 70 minutes, not one thing happen. Not one thing.
I mean, no. And the weird thing is that seemed to be what Cambridge wanted to happen.
Very
because
weird.
they put sort of, I mean, at least 9 men behind the ball
Yep.
for most of the game.
Yeah.
And they sort of let us sort of tap it around them.
Yeah.
Without, very well organised. If that's what you're going for, they did it very well. They were very, but I'm just not sure why they did it.
No, it felt like when England play some absolute, like not rock bottom European team.
England of a few years ago, you mean?
Yeah. But I mean, the way Cambridge set up, they're not playing like, who was it we beat 9-0 the other day? They're not playing them, Macedonia or Montenegro or whatever.
Well, 7-0, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting Leicester's mixed up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that. They weren't like a rock bottom team kind of set up of calamity after calamity. It was like when England play, I don't know, Bulgaria or someone.
Right.
Where they just like, well, if we can just keep it a 0-0 for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
But Cambridge just beat us 4-0.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, and I mean, you think, okay, we're at home.
Yeah, you want to,
They think that's a plausible kind of tactic. Sit behind the ball, invite us on. We're pretty toothless, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which we'll get to, and then catch us on the break, which is all fine, except they made absolutely no effort to catch us on the break at all.
No, like they just let us have it on the edge of everywhere.
Yeah. It was like they were playing for penalties
from the minute
we started. It's very strange, and it didn't make for a particularly enjoyable game. Quite frustrating.
I mean, at least we just walked up the ground. Imagine coming from Cambridge to see that.
Yeah. Well, not many did, but some did.
Poor swine.
Yeah. So anyway, that's sort of the way it went. It's a bit of a different team selection.
Yeah. So Bowman on the bench.
Bowman was on the bench for the first time in the club's history, I think. As far as I can remember.
The last time he was on the bench, Dick Pym was in goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bowman on the bench, which is kind of interesting. We've been kind of crying out for it, haven't we?
Yeah, I think. Well, definitely. Yeah, they've been.
Not that I think he's ever played bad, but I just think we needed to try something different. So it was Fisher and Martin up front, Lee Martin, of course.
Essentially, it looked like the same system to me, but with personnel changing. Yeah, there, Fisher in for Bowman and
Jake Taylor out for suspension.
Yeah, so Matt J took his place, and I think we saw probably the reason why Matt J can't get into the first team in that position, because he doesn't do Jake Taylor's job as well as Jake Taylor does it.
No.
And he didn't particularly do anything wrong.
Like you always say about Matt J, he's not afraid to put in the hard work.
Yeah, of course. No, and he was. I'm not criticising him. He was good. I'm just saying he's not as good as Jake Taylor in that position.
That's right.
And he couldn't get into those forward positions because Nicky Law, was playing 2, and he was sort of taking up that role. We didn't have a shot on target. We didn't have a shot at all in the first half, apart from one that Nicky Law had that was blocked. I mean, the second he kicked.
Yeah, it was blocked on the edge of the box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then second half, Randall Williams had a free kick from the edge of our box. Sorry, the edge of their box, which was heading for the top corner, I think. Their keeper saved. The only other shot on target, I think, was the goal. I can't think of anything else. It got a bit more lively after we'd
scored. I think
not much.
I think it started to get livelier when we made the changes, and there were 2 really good changes. So Matt Taylor's got to take some a lot of credit for that.
So Jack Sparks.
So Sparks comes on for Woodman, and Ben Seymour came on for Lee Martin.
Yeah.
So they're just and straight away it was just crying out for a bit of that kind of youthful enthusiasm that Jack Sparks has definitely got, and Ben Seymour, but and Sparks played well, I thought, when he came on. He was probably the best player on the pitch.
Now, we haven't got the replay to consult.
Yeah, we're doing this straight away, so we've got no.
I think the goal was Collins playing a ball on the line of the 6-yard box. So what I mean by that is from Cambridge's half, he played it about that kind of line down the pitch. And I think it was Seymour cut in on the byline and crossed it to Fisher, who scored from 6 yards.
Right.
I think it was Seymour. It might have been Randall Williams.
Okay, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
Who did it or not?
Who did it or not, we don't know. We know that Fisher scored.
Long way away because of the old
Yeah.
Cambridge choosing our end first, you know. I hate when they do that.
It's just
Everyone
about the
hates when
worst.
they do that.
They're basically the worst humans
Yeah.
for that. So Fisher scored. He did well, like he was under pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd had some absolutely turgid shots in advance of that.
Yeah.
Randall Williams put one about 3 miles in the air. Law put one over the away end roof.
Yeah.
So Fisher, it wouldn't have been out of character for that game.
Lee Martin had another shot, didn't he? There was
he?
one other one. There's a left foot chance at Lee Martin,
Okay.
straight at the keeper. But
Oh, yeah.
second half. But yeah.
So Fisher did well. It was great to see that.
It's great to see him score. And just as he put the ball in the net, what was happening on the touchline?
Taylor had sent the instruction up to the bench. Bowman was coming down.
He's waiting there.
He wasn't just coming down. He was ready to go. Shirt was on. Training top was off.
Kit on. Fourth official's got the ball in his hand.
Yep.
He's pressing the little buttons to get the numbers out. Fisher's typing in
Tapping
number
it in.
18. He's putting in number 11. Nope. Fisher sticks the ball in the net. Sit down, Ryan.
Glorious.
This isn't your night.
Bad for Bowman. But, I think that's good. I think we need some healthy competition. Still no sign of Nicky or Jose. Although we're told, aren't we, he's making progress.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that means. But good.
I
Really
want him
good.
back in there. I really want him back in there, Jose.
We need it. But really good for Fisher to get a goal. And he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't have any chances today, apart from the goal he scored, I don't think. He ran tirelessly. He did some good knocking ons.
First half especially, he's feeding off scraps. I actually think he's quite good in the air at the old flick on.
He did a couple of good flick-ons.
I think he's
didn't he?
decent at that, but there wasn't a huge amount of opportunity for that either.
What I didn't
Lee
understand...
Martin did a lot of running around and not much else, which he, is kind of his game.
I'd like to see Jay play Martin's position with Fisher or with Bowman.
Yeah, me too.
I think that would be the thing to do.
Yeah.
The next thing, because I think Martin, he's very hit and miss. And you said it while we were watching. If he's in the right position, you don't ascribe it to him knowing exactly what to do.
Yeah.
It's just on some occasions you'll be in the right position.
He doesn't score a lot. He doesn't assist a lot.
No,
but he does.
He does
make a
run.
nuisance of himself.
He does make a nuisance
and
of
he likes to pull defenders out of position, and that maybe frees up chances for other people. But sometimes when we're kind of going through a bit of a barren scoring spell, you just wish that maybe he had a bit more of a kind of eye for goal himself.
Yeah. What I didn't understand, and this was why Taylor changed it, obviously, but in the first half, there was so much space for our fullbacks, and Martin was struggling to know what to do. Williams was kind of overwhelmed with defenders.
Well, he was 3-on-1 every
3-on-1.
time because Sweeney wasn't getting further.
So Sweeney
far.
and Woodman really should have been pushing forward, and Sweeney did a bit from about 35 minutes on, and it looked better for it. So obviously that's why he changed Sparks, brought Sparks on for Woodman. But I was a bit depressing how much of the ball we had and how little we knew what to do with it.
Yeah, and just the fact that it didn't even result in any shots, let alone any goals.
No.
And this is like now dragging on and starting to become a bit more than just a small problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got, how many times can you keep saying it? I'm bored of hearing it myself,
Yeah.
We need to score more goals.
We need to score more goals, but we also need to create more. Like, in fairness to Fisher, really, he had one chance and he put it away.
Yeah.
If that's what he's able to do, make some chances for him.
Yeah.
Like not long ball that means he's got to time it exactly right, even though he's got to look over his shoulder to it. Like, that's not going to happen.
No.
That's a very hard thing to get right.
I mean, and another bizarre thing that we did in the second half, but this is before the goal, so these are the things that sort of really add up, and they create this kind of like frustrated kind of atmosphere, especially in the stands, and which is going to feed onto the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get our first corner of the game.
Yeah.
Well into the second half.
Yeah.
Matt Jay, who's like an excellent set piece taker.
Yeah.
Like great
Scored some
crosser.
good free kicks, good crosser.
Puts a really good cross in. Aaron Martin heads just wide.
Yeah, wide.
Just wide.
Didn't get enough
a
on
decent
it.
chance,
Yeah.
but we get another corner 5 minutes later, and he goes short, and it goes out to Williams, and somehow it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that just nearly worked.
Yeah. And we've got Fisher, and we've got Martin, and on other occasions we've got Bowman, and Parks if he's there, and Moxie even. They're big lads. We're not creating it like I think I'm not saying we go route one. I really don't want to say that, but sometimes just like do the obvious thing. Sometimes do the obvious thing. Shoot from distance. Sometimes not because you think you're going to score, but because we don't even know what the keeper will do with it. He didn't look very big. Like sometimes you've got to play the kind of odds game, haven't you? Like the chances game of, well, if we have 10 shots, he might not save all of them. He might not hold all of them. If we, and sometimes you're just a bit like, nah. Sometimes you just got to do the straightforward thing, the obvious thing.
Yeah. I mean, so it is getting frustrating in it from a fan's point of view, and like I don't know what you do about it. Really, I mean, we can come up with these ideas. Like one I think is a good one is why not Matt J in that place for Lee Martin?
Do you think Fisher's done enough to keep himself in the team?
I mean, personally, I'd like to maybe reward him with a start on Saturday, but I suspect that won't be the case. I imagine Bowman's will be back in. Just because he seems like he's like Matt Taylor's having him, isn't he? This season, like he's having him. He wants him in there. So I doubt it, but I'd like to see him having another start.
I would too. No, I would too.
I'm not into this. Both of them playing though.
Fisher and Bowman.
I'm not into that. They're not that. It's not a natural partnership, No. And I'm not saying they're both just kind of big poles to bounce the ball off. But they're I don't mean Polish, by the way. I mean big tall drinks of water.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. The two of them together, and it's not been working anyway. So
no, indeed. So we travel to Crawley on Saturday, who are not, any great shakes really. 16th in the league, 21 points. They've lost 7. They're not scoring much. I mean, it's still really close in the league, and we'll talk about this more in a minute, but we just need a couple of things. It was weird, as you will know, listeners, maybe if you've been paying attention, I wasn't here for the Argyle match. So I was talking to our friends today at the game.
Shame.
And that's like, was that all? Like, that wasn't just, I know they weren't very good, Argyle, but we obviously got something about us sometimes.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it's not like...
Yeah, well, it is in there, isn't it?
It's in there. And I think Taylor's a miss. I do think Jake Taylor, he's just got a kind of driving nature, and I think he might have been quite interesting tonight, because he just runs at people sometimes, doesn't he, and flings himself around a bit. And that's kind of what the game needed, really.
We've said this many times, he's criminally underrated.
Yeah.
I do think this season that people have started to appreciate what he does.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And also he's in a bit more of
a bit more of a sensible position, isn't he? But
and he's adapted his game. And I think he's really important for us. He's not, however, the goal scoring answer to the goal scoring problems, of course. He might get a couple, and he's not really there to be the creator either.
No.
But we're definitely a better side with him there.
What you never see from Williams, because Williams might be a goal scorer that we don't really know about yet, or he doesn't even know about. Like, as we know, he's got a good shot on him sometimes, and we know he's got pace. He doesn't cut inside ever.
He sort of does try to sometimes.
Do you think he's
There's a few times
he's a right footer?
He does. He usually goes to the byline, doesn't he, and tries to cut it back.
Yeah. And Martin also...
He's a left footer.
He's a left footer, and he plays like a winger even when he's up top.
Randall's a left footer, I mean.
Oh, Randall's left footer. Yeah, so in that sense, that doesn't make any sense either. Like, cut inside.
No, exactly. You'd think that's what one of the ideas would be, or the main idea, cutting in for a cross, cutting in for a shot. He does do that.
Yeah.
But he's only got one goal so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good one.
I would invite him to think sometimes I can be in a different place. I don't have to just hug the touchline. And I know Taylor probably tells him that's what he's got to do. But
and also, I think maybe, I think teams know what we're about, and they know what he's about.
Well, I know we played Cambridge a lot.
It's a little bit like, so the comparison would be Arjen Robben.
Yeah.
The left-footed player playing on the right. You know he's going to cut in. That's the only thing he's going to do.
So you send him out to the wide on your right foot. Yeah,
The
maybe.
difference is no one can stop Harm cutting in.
No.
Pretty much anyone can stop Randall Williams cutting in.
Yeah, I think that's
Unfortunately.
true. Unfortunately, that's true.
But he's an improving player, for sure. And I think I'd imagine he will score a couple more goals for us this season, and we need him to. So
Yeah, because Martin's not coming up with any goals.
probably not. No,
Law will come up with some. Taylor will
Lee
come
Martin's
up with
your
one or two.
sort of 3 or 4 a season kind of guy.
Yeah, but
isn't
that's
he?
what Sweeney is. That's the comparison, isn't it? Sweeney will get us 2 or 3 or 4.
Well, yeah,
Martin, or like if he was providing 20 assists, who cares how many goals he scores? But he's not doing that either.
no,
Jay will get you 3 or 4 in that kind of position. Like, the old, he'll just throw his body in.
yeah. I'd like to see it.
We don't see Martin in the box even. And I don't want to be down on him because I like him as a lad. Like, running, energetic, wants to...
Yeah, there was an interview of him recently on the, I don't know what, Exeter City's social media. And I always had it in my head just from sort of seeing him out there and the way he sort of like gets stuck in and like, he sort of niggles at players and argues a bit. And,
Yeah.
I thought he's sort of a bit of a kind of cheeky, shappy kind of like
Vardy.
lad. But he doesn't come across like that at all in his interview I saw of him.
What's he into? What's
Just
he like
very
doing?
grounded. He's saying how he sort of lives in Budley and he likes the countryside and
Jamie Vardy would not live in Budley Salterton.
no. Anyway, so I had him all wrong.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to use him, to be honest. I don't know where Martin would work best.
No, I think it's a valuable type of player to have.
Yeah.
And all of these things are kind of they're only issues because there isn't anyone else scoring the goals. So if he was doing that role and someone else was banging him in every week, say Ryan Bowman you're in there with you kind of like on sort of double figures already, then you go, he's perfect. He's the perfect foil for Bowman,
Yeah.
But that isn't happening. And so you start to look at other people's game and you think like, well, they don't score, so what do they do? And I think that's where it comes from. But
Fisher's interesting, isn't he? Because it was Bradford, wasn't it, where we lost 2-0 and we had an enormous amount of possession and a load of shots and nothing, right? Load of chances, nothing. Fisher tonight really had one chance and he put it away. So I think tonight was I really can't get my head around what Cambridge were doing because it was very strange performance. Like that's how you'd play. Surely that's how you'd play against like a championship team. Like
yeah,
anyway,
it's the weirdest thing about tonight. But yeah,
whatever. Like that's that. But I think if we've got a chance at making a lot of chances, Taylor will be back in. I think Fisher's well worth the second go. I think he's well worth the second go. Team like Crawley, we could go there and get 2 goals. We could go there and win 2-0. Like that's not outlandish to think Law and Taylor and Williams create a load of chances. Fisher scores. Suddenly we got something. If he's scoring in consecutive games,
yeah,
he scored quite a lot for Yeovil last year, and they were terrible.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. I fear you're right though, and Bowman's a dead cert.
Oh, he's back in.
Of course, Dan, we've been so excited by the magic of the cup that we failed to mention so far the Cheltenham game at home Saturday just gone.
Yeah.
Ball draw 0-0.
Move on.
See you later. All right.
There's a few reasons for that. In it, one is neither of us were there.
Sorry.
First game of the season, listeners.
Yes, that's right.
Neither of us have been.
That's how committed we are. And last, let's hope.
Yeah,
Maybe.
should be. You never know. But life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? There's more important things than football.
Or your boss says you can't leave early.
Yeah, or you're on holiday. That's where I was.
Yeah, I was not allowed.
But from all accounts and from the available video highlights, it was
Turgid.
pretty bad.
That's the second time I've used the word turgid, but I feel it's apt.
That's not a good sign, is it? When you're using
No, it's not.
turgid for 2 different games within a week.
Later on, we'll be
Each
saying
other.
codswallop.
Well, let's hope we don't reach that level. But yeah, so we didn't score in that one either.
No.
I'd say the positive one thing there is that we didn't concede.
That's 2 clean sheets?
2 clean sheets.
Against teams that have been scoring, so that's
yeah,
something.
exactly.
And the injury crisis was kind of racking up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Someone had hit their head.
Taylor was sort of saying someone had got bang on the head and they were wobbling around and didn't know what day of the week it was, which is something I can relate to.
Yeah, you done that.
Having recently had a bang on the head.
And you didn't know what day of the week it was?
I knew what day of the week it was, but I don't think I could have played 90 minutes of football.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or any. That's nothing to do with the bang on the head. It's crap.
Hey. Yeah,
No,
okay. Anyway,
I'm good at football. I'm good.
Just to conclude,
Just so you know,
Dan's good at football. So that happens. That's 2 clean sheets. That's 1 goal.
yeah.
There's a point actually, a point that's kept us in touch. So
Yeah,
how familiar are you with the league, listeners? I don't know. Swindon sit top, 33 points. Now the report was like racing ahead. Forest Green are right behind them with a game in hand on 31. Then Bradford in 16th. They're the kind of real winners here. 16 games played, 30 points. Crewe 17 games played in 4th with 30 points. Exeter City 5th. 18 games played, 30 points. Behind that, us, Cheltenham, 16 games played, 29. So it's all pretty close. And it remains close until about, 11th, Argyle, 26 points, I suppose. Then it drops right off.
Yeah.
Crawley, we're going to Creepy Crawley on Saturday. Is that the People's Pension Stadium? I believe it is.
Classic.
Absolute classic. Our old favourite, People's Pension. So we'll see how that goes. But that'll be a kind of measure of where we're going to be, I think, or where we're going to be for the next month or so. Because if we're not beating Crawley away or getting a point of Crawley away and scoring some goals, we're not going to be scoring goals against many people.
No. And our away form is something that definitely needs to pick up. And while a 0-0 draw... No, wait, that was a home, wasn't it? Yeah, away form needs sorting out.
I mean, I think some of the injured people are coming back in. Jake Taylor's back in, which is absolute necessity. Necessity. That's the word.
So, yeah, he's back from suspension, isn't he?
Yeah. After his chopper impression.
Yeah, fair enough. And Attingana's sort of making his way back, isn't he? Or back to playing football. I mean,
we don't know yet.
Yeah,
he's basically an unknown quantity, isn't he?
He looks good in the tackle, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he's definitely a useful player to have. It's great to have a bit of depth, especially in the middle of midfield. I think in sort of recent years that's been a little bit. Somewhere we've been a bit shy.
I'd like to see Sparks more again. I think that he really made a difference tonight.
Yeah. Well, Woodman sort of had his kind of...
Well, that was great for Argyle.
Return to prominence, whatever, like triumphant return against Argyle. And he's been, he's been good, but
he's got one skill, essentially, hasn't he?
Yeah. But that performance from Sparks tonight, I thought shows that that his season isn't over.
No,
he's very much going to be a big part of this team, and also from another game we missed, which we briefly mentioned, the leasing.com.
You've used its full title.
Oh, it's got me. They've got me.
No, they've got you a nice car.
Yeah, whatever. That thing. The highlights from that.
Yeah,
Sparks looked really good in that too, and that actually was I know it's annoying, but that really kind of reminded me that our youth, the kind of state of our youth team and the young players we've got in the squad and out on loan is looking very healthy.
Yeah, there's
really a lot of good players in there.
Good.
And in a few years' time, if not sooner, they're going to be making us hopefully some cash. Ben
Seymour looked good tonight, didn't he? If indeed that was him that put the ball across the box, which I think it was.
Yeah, well, we just needed that bit of urgency, didn't we? And both them came on and were sort of seemed like the only people on the pitch who were sort of really hungry.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily criticising
the
rest of our players for not being hungry enough, but they were trying. But yeah, exactly. And it's hard to play against a team playing like that. And like I said, they did it really well, Cambridge. I just don't know why they did it really well.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we'll see.
So yeah, other than that game, a friend of from the Cheltenham game, Ruben Reid didn't play.
Apparently kind of wandered off the bench, Ruff, for like a few yards, stretched a bit, chatted a bit.
He's probably annoyed, isn't he?
About his life.
I don't know. He's probably annoyed that he's not playing.
Yeah, but
That's what happened.
He's become a 10-ton man.
Has he?
Big boy.
Big boy. He was never little.
No, he wasn't. Well, he's, you know when there's a problem with striped shirts, isn't it?
Vertical stripes are supposed to make you look thinner.
Then I'd hate to see what he looks like with a different shirt on. Dear me.
And the camera adds £10.
Well,
and we've
yeah.
only seen the highlights. A friend of ours said that Aaron Martin made another one of those good,
Tackles.
becoming trademark last-ditch tackles.
Love it. Keep it going, Aaron.
And
He's
actually,
been great.
he was good tonight as well, Aaron Martin, when he needed to be.
And Moxie was good, so that's good to remind us, really, that Moxie and Parks and Martin are all kind of interchangeable, really.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Moxie's not slow.
No, he's
Something I
not. He was
noticed
quick
tonight.
again tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he has had a month's rest.
He might be a bit slow off the mark, but once he gets going, he's...
Yeah. Here's something to talk about, though. So Crizen, we've still not seen where he's going to end up. Ethan Ampadu playing for Wales in his international break again.
Yeah, he actually finally got... Well, we talked about this, but he's had a few more minutes for Leipzig as well.
Yeah, it's right. Tisdale, of course, has been on the telly talking about City.
Paul Tisdale
And
on
I can
Quest TV.
Yeah, I can exclusively reveal to you now he's been appointed as Tottenham Hotspur manager.
Well, it's coming.
Maybe. That would be a turn up for the books.
That would be... I mean, I'll give you odds on that if you want.
But Perryman, I'm clinging to the Perryman link. Imagine
That's
that.
the angle, isn't
That's
it?
the angle.
That's the
Perryman and
narrative.
Tisdale caretakers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Perryman's only trick is to go in the middle of the pitch and do weird arm gestures. And Tisdale,
and have a sort of...
Tisdale would sell Harry
have a
Kane and
square
buy Harry
head.
Maguire, wouldn't he? There we go.
So he's not going there. Tisdale was very complimentary about Matt Taylor.
He was.
And you know what? As I sat there looking at those studio lights bounce off his shiny, round head,
Yeah.
I couldn't help but thinking, I still quite like him.
Do you miss him?
I don't miss him, but I miss him.
Got ya.
No, I don't really. I mean, I'm glad of the way things have turned out, but I don't know.
I wonder where
Can't
he'll
help him.
go.
I loved him for so long.
He's not a big enough name to just be a TV personality now, is it? Even though he's got the kind of chops, the TV chops.
Yeah.
And he's got the suits. He's not big enough. He's never getting on Match of the Day or Five Live or whatever.
He's no Clinton Morrison.
No, he's not. So what's he going to do? I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, usually you'd think people who are out of work go on those sort of things to sort of remind other people that you're there, to sort of keep in the consciousness of people. So
Yeah.
people go,
But listen,
Paul Tisdale. And I keep seeing all these people speculating online. I say keep seeing. It's because I'm typing Tisdale into Twitter. But, like people going, Grimsby Town. It's like, he ain't going there.
No, he's not.
Tisdale's
going
not
to
turning
Grimsby.
up at Grimsby, I'll tell you that. He's not going to be at Newport. What about Leyton Orient? What's the situation there?
That's potential, I would think.
Could you see him? Paul Tisdale in East London?
It's a stretch, isn't it?
Strolling down
Yeah.
Shoreditch High Street
It's a
in a
stretch.
cravat.
I mean, maybe. He's kind of hipster, isn't he?
That's what I mean.
This is the thing about Tisdale, though. He's been in League One 3 times,
Yeah.
twice relegated,
Not done well, has he, in League One?
and once sacked. Is that true? 3 times or just us? No, we only went up once.
Yeah, once.
Once. So he's been there twice, relegated once, sacked once. So
We did have one very good season in League One, which people shouldn't forget about.
everyone's forgotten about that.
Well, they shouldn't, because it was a very good season, and we nearly made it into the playoffs.
Yeah, nearly. But he's not getting a job in League One, is he?
But he's going to be highlighting that bit of his CV. Remember this?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And
All I'm saying
no,
is he's getting a job in League Two, or he's going somewhere weird abroad.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? He played for a Greek team for a while.
He
When he was
did.
a
I
player.
could see him being like Cyprus international manager.
Yeah,
That's the kind of thing he'll do.
yeah.
But it's a long commute from Bath.
Well, he doesn't. He's showed before. He doesn't mind. He's happy to sort of you know, try his hand at new things. He's a man of the world.
He's a modern man.
Anyway, this is enough.
Millennial man.
It's enough talk at Tisdale.
Yeah, it really is. Listeners, thanks for getting in touch. We've had some good messages over the past few weeks. Thanks everyone who's been on Lewis Ward Hat Watch. I don't know if he was commentating tonight, but he seems to have learned from his mistake. Hats go on your head, headphones go over your hat.
Yeah, although we didn't see whether or not where those headphones went, because the photo of him
Was pre-headphones.
pre-headphones.
Lewis. That brings me on to there's some good new bobble hats in the club shop.
Is there?
Yeah, nice ones.
I'm not really a bobble hat kind of guy.
Well, if you were, that'd be the place to go.
Okay.
It's almost like a glittery one.
Right. Okay.
And you're very festive, you know.
Right. Okay.
That kind of bobble hat.
I can't say it again. Yeah, I've never been one for a bobble hat, but I'm sure they're great.
Lewis Ward will testify that they work and stretch over large objects.
That hat's never going back to normal. It's like when you lend a hat to someone who's got a big head or a jumper.
Yeah, never lend me a hat.
They stretch out the neck hole.
Nothing worse than a stretched neck hole, is there?
Someone goes, "Oh, can I borrow a jumper? It's freezing," you know, like.
Yeah.
And they've got a massive head, and then you think, "Oh, this is going to stretch out the neck hole, isn't it?"
I don't think it's called a neck hole. I think it's just called the neck.
Maybe. Anyway, that's from an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, is it? Oh, all right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Anything else to say?
No. Crawley away Saturday. We'll be back with you next week to unpick all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I'm optimistic.
Sorry, one more piece of thing, which we had previously covered. Congratulations to all the trust...
Elected trust board members. Absolutely. Fair play.
Nice one.
I'm pleased to see that everyone I voted for got on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Same here. It was some new people in there.
Yeah, good to see.
Yeah, it's really good to see.
And fair play.
I'm sure they'll do a great job.
Fair play to the people who didn't get in. Also, thanks for sticking your head above the parapet.
Yeah.
Through the neck hole. Don't take it as a thing. Like, I think I would have happily voted for any of those people. They all sounded good and competent. And
totally.
I'd encourage you to stand again next year if you at all listen to this. Who knows if you do? We know the only person who does listen is Lewis Ward, because he's, up for hat advice.
And he's a good lad. Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he?
And we've never said a bad word about him.
Certainly not. He'll be back soon, of course.
Yeah.
Imagine if a Jose and Ward come back at the same time. What a glorious day.
It's going to be good, and it's coming.
It's coming. We're nearly into December, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And it's going to be quite a busy December now with the old cup game as well.
It will be, yeah.
So lots to look forward to. Listeners, thanks for tuning in to this very, very hot off the press podcast. We'll see you soon. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
Bye.